Hello viewers, this is Simran Rajpal and you're watching Jagran Josh. Have you ever tried calling someone on the western coast from New York and been totally confused about the time difference? Or maybe you have heard about the daylight saving time and wondered how many times Americans actually have to change their clocks. Today we are diving into the fascinating and sometimes frustrating system of time zones in the United States, including the difference between standard and daylight saving time. The United States is a massive country spanning thousands of miles from the Atlantic to the Pacific and even into the Arctic and South Pacific. Because of this large east-west expanse, the contiguous US alone is divided into four primary time zones. But if you count all the US territories and non-contiguous states, the USA actually has a total of 6 main official standard time zones. Let's look at the 4 time zones that cover the majority of the US landmass, moving from east to west. Eastern Standard Time, that is the EST. This is the time zone for major cities like New York, Miami and Washington DC. The other one is Central Standard Time, that is the CST. This covers the heartland including Chicago, Dallas and North Orleans. It is 1 hour behind the EST. Then we have the Mountain Standard Time or the MST. This covers the Rocky Mountain states like Denver and Salt Lake City. It is 2 hours behind EST. Then we have the Pacific Standard Time, that is the PST. This covers the West Coast including Los Angeles, Seattle and San Francisco. It is 3 hours behind the EST. Beyond the contiguous 48 states, we have 2 more main standard zones for non-contiguous states and territories. Alaska Standard Time, that is the AKST. This covers nearly all of the state of Alaska. It is 4 hours behind EST. Then we have Hawaii Aleutian Standard Time, that is the HAST. This covers Hawaii and the westernmost Aleutian Islands. It is 5 hours behind the EST. Now let's introduce the concept that changes everything: daylight saving time or the DST. Most of the US observes DST, which means clocks are moved forward by 1 hour during warmer summer months. The general purpose of DST is to make better use of natural daylight by shifting an hour of sunlight from the early morning to the evening. This practice is often described by the phrase spring forward, fall back. When DST is in effect, the standard time zones officially change their names. Eastern Standard Time or the EST becomes Eastern Daylight Time or the EDT. Central Standard Times becomes Central Daylight Time or the CDT. Then Mountain Standard Time, that is the MST, becomes Mountain Daylight Time, that is MDT. Then Pacific Standard Time, that is PST, becomes Pacific Daylight Time, that is the PDT. For example, when New York switches from EST to EDT, the time difference with Los Angeles remains the same 3 hours, but the actual time name reflects the change. Not every part of the USA observes daylight saving time, which adds to the confusion. The 2 most notable areas that do not change their clocks are Arizona. With the exception of the Navajo Nation, the entire state stays on Mountain Standard Time, that is MST, year-round. This means during the summer, it has the same time as the Pacific Coast, that is the PDT. Then we have Hawaii. The state of Hawaii stays on Hawaii Aleutian Standard Time, that is the HAST, year-round. Because these areas don't spring forward, they often end up having different time difference with other US states in the summer compared to the winter. For technical and practical purposes, the US government recognizes several minor zones for its far-flung territories. While we stick to the main 6, it's worth noting that these, for completeness, Samoa Standard Time, that is the SST, observed by American Samoa. Then we have Chamorro Standard Time, that is the CHST, observed by Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands. And finally, a small portion of the westernmost Aleutian Island uses Wake Island time zone, that is the WAKT, which is 10 hours behind the EST. So, depending on how you count, the total number of US time zones can be between 6 and 11. To summarize the major change in simple words, if you are in New York and it is 10 a.m. in the winter EST, it is 7 a.m. in the Los Angeles in PST. When the whole system moves to daylight saving time in the summer, the time difference stays the same. The real trick is remembering that states like Arizona will have a time difference that shrinks or expands by an hour compared to the rest of the country. Understanding these zones is key to managing schedules across the vast nation. So, were you aware about these time zones in the US? Do let us know in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like and share it, and subscribe to Jagran for more such valuable content. Thank you for watching.